Sunday school class. I love you guys. It's another week of quarantine, another week of YouTube Sunday school. Got my rain boots here because it's about to get stormy up in here. I'm going to talk today from Mark chapter 4, verse 37 through 41. It's going to be our Bible lesson today. And after all this is over with, I've got something fun, a fun challenge for y'all to do. But right now, we're going to get to our lesson. Jesus had been teaching all day long. He was at the Sea of Galilee teaching, and he even got in a boat and went out in a little ways, and he talked to the people. The boat was his platform. The beach were the pews. And that just goes to show that you can have church anywhere, just like we have church in our homes right now or at the pavilion last Sunday in our cars. But Jesus had been teaching all day, and they wanted to go to the other side of the lake. So he and his disciples got in the boat, and they started to sail across to the other side. And they were rowing across to the other side of the sea. And it was a beautiful day out there. The sun was shining. The birds were chirping. No clouds in sight. And then, all of a sudden, a storm blew in. The wind started blowing. The waves started rolling. The storm clouds covered up the sun. There was lightning. It was an awful, awful storm. And the boat was rocking. And it started raining. And the boat filled up with water. And they had to bail water out of the boat. And it was such a bad storm with all the thunder and all the lightning, and they got scared. They were in the boat and they were scared for their lives because it was such a bad storm. This is a storm like no other. What had they gotten themselves into? They had gotten into a whale. Have you ever wondered that? Have you ever wondered, like, what have I got myself into? What have I done? They may have thought the same thing. They may have thought, man, what have I gotten myself into? I was just getting on this boat, and it's just a short way across the sea. I was going to go get in this boat and go across in this beautiful day, and then all of a sudden the storm hit. What have we done? And they started looking around. The storm was raging. They started looking around for Jesus. Where's Jesus? Master, do you mind? Do you care if we perish? Jesus, do you care if we die? Jesus, where are you? And do you know where Jesus was? He was asleep. He was asleep on a pillow in this storm. How on earth can he sleep in this? But he was. And they ran to him, hollering, Jesus, wake up! Master, do you care if we die? And then Jesus woke up, he got up, and he said,
Peace, be still.
And all of a sudden, the storm stopped, the sea calmed down, and everything was peaceful. It went from a stormy rain to a peaceful rain. The clouds disappeared and the sun reappeared. It was a beautiful day again because they went in search of Jesus. They got in touch with the Master. I don't imagine that they took the time to sit around and discuss and decide just what they were going to say when they got to Jesus or deliberate about how they were going to approach the Master. But they had a right now emergency. They went to Jesus with urgency. They needed Jesus right now. They weren't worried about what everybody else was doing. Thomas wasn't worried about what James is doing. Peter wasn't worried about what John was doing. They needed Jesus. They had to get to Jesus now. Hey, Master, Jesus, I need you. I'm in over my head. It's me, Lord. I need you. And it got Jesus' attention, and he calmed their storm. Sometimes we go through storms in our life, and I'm not talking about the kind that's raining buckets and thundering and lightning, and Jesus can give you a peace in those storms too. But sometimes we have storms that we go through in life, and right now our whole world is going through a storm, it seems like. But sometimes in our own personal life we have storms. Sometimes it's not even our fault. It could be a storm from somebody else, a friend's or a family, and you get caught up in the middle of it. Sometimes those storms are not even your fault. Sometimes we stir up our own storms. And every action has an effect to it, whether it's a good or bad effect. And there's always an effect for every action we take. And sometimes, occasionally, we stir up our own storm. We do things that we probably shouldn't do. We think maybe it's a little thing, it's just a little bitty thing. And my parents won't even know about it. Or it's just a little thing. And it's kind of like they thought that was just a little lake. They're just going to pass over to the other side, no big deal. And they got caught up in that storm. And sometimes we think maybe we just do a little thing, and we kind of it grows into a big thing, a big ordeal. And before you know it, you're in over your head in a storm that you've created. Then there's just life sometimes, storms that we go through. It's just part of life. But if you ever find yourself in a storm, you can call out to Jesus. You can call out to the Master, Jesus, help me. You can get in touch with God. And you don't worry about the others around you. It's your storm, and you have to get in touch with Jesus, and he'll calm your storm. It's like blind Bartimaeus. He called out to Jesus, Jesus, have mercy on me. They told him, hey, shh, don't do that, be quiet. And he called out loud, Jesus, Jesus, have mercy on me. You can call out to God, and he'll hear your cry, and he'll calm your storms and give you a peace. Okay, helping me today was Charlie Fountain as a disciple, Katie Fountain as a disciple, Dan Fountain as Jesus, and in sound design. Also in sound design is Brother Chad Fountain. And I'm Crystal. Hoping you'll join us again for another Adventures in Sunday School. All right, on to our challenge. We're going to do a boat challenge today. We talked about the storm and the disciples in a boat, and what about this boat? This is fun to make. But our boat challenge is to make a paper boat. You can use paper, glue, tape, staples. That's it to make your boat. However you make it, that's fine. It's up to you. And then you're going to take your boat, float it in your bathtub full of water or sink full of water, and put 5 pennies in the boat, on the boat somewhere. And the challenge is to see whose boat can stay afloat the longest with 5 pennies in it. You can make it, like I said, however you want it, using those 4 things. And video it, send it to me, and we'll see whose boat stays afloat. And we will announce the winner next Sunday. I love you guys. I'll be glad when we get to Sunday school. See you next week.